Please pay homage to the Buddha. Namo Dasa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Dasa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Dasa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa.
Okay, now this question. Is there any way to improve or polish the wisdom faculty or wisdom energy?
If you want to improve your wisdom energy, what you should do first? First, you must try to purify your body. At least 5 precepts are necessary. You must always observe 5 precepts and try to purify this sila. If you are a 10 preceptor or a bhikkhu, then you must always try to purify your 10 precepts. Patimokkha restraint if you become a bhikkhu. So these are necessary, because without purification of body, if you practice concentration, samatha, it is impossible to improve. Based on purification of body, you must practice samatha meditation. But in this case, if you want to improve your wisdom energy, one type of patimokkha samvara sila restraint alone is not enough. You must also try to purify your faculties, Indiya samvara sila. You must guard your faculties through which any defilement not to visit to your mind. This is very important. How you should guard? We had already explained. You must always put your mind into your meditation object. While practicing samatha, you must always keep your mind into the samatha meditation object. You must always focus on your samatha meditation object. If you are practicing vipassana, you must contemplate nature or dukkha or anatta characteristic of those formations. This is Indriya samvara sila. This sila also necessary. Then purification of livelihood, purification of one using 4 requisites. You must always reflect picha vakana. So purification of 4 types of bhaju is necessary. Then what you should do? Samadhi bhikkhu bhavita samahito bhikkhu bhikkhu yatha buddham pajanati. Bhikkhus develop concentration. A bhikkhu who has concentrated mind understands the dhammas as they really are. What does he understand as it really is? He understands according to reality. This is the noble truth of suffering. He understands according to reality. This is the noble truth of the origin of suffering. He understands according to reality. This is the noble truth of the cessation of suffering. He understands according to reality. This is the noble truth of the practice leading to the cessation of suffering. In this way, Buddha teaches in Samadhi Sutta of Sitya Sanyutta. Because of this reason, if you want to improve your wisdom energy, secondly, you should try to develop your concentration. There are 40 samatha meditation subjects to improve your concentration. You can choose anyone. If you had already practiced, especially up to 4th jhana stage, that 4th jhana will produce strong, powerful light, which is called the light of wisdom. With the light system of the light of wisdom, if you practice 4 elements meditation systematically, you can see ultimate materiality, ultimate mentality, and their causes. In this case, no atheist except our Theravada Buddhism. There is no teacher who can teach to analyze and see Paramatha ultimate materiality. There is no teacher who can teach for realization of this ultimate materiality. Our body is composed of subatomic particles called kalabas. These kalabas are not ultimate materiality. If you can analyze each kalaba, in each kalaba there are 8 types of materiality, or 9 types of materiality, or 10 types of materiality, etc. Again, if you classify these kalabas, there are 4 types of materiality. Some are karma-born materiality, some are mind-born materiality, some are temperature-born materiality, some are nutriment-born materiality. There is no teacher who can teach how to analyze this materiality for realization of ultimate materiality. If a meditator understands this ultimate materiality by his or her own direct knowledge, such type of understanding is very high, very powerful wisdom energy. Is it true? Yes, this is very high powerful wisdom energy. So to improve such type of very high powerful wisdom energy, first you must try to purify your body. Secondly, you should have enough concentration, especially jhana concentration. But it is not enough. Based on jhana concentration, you must practice 4 elements meditation systematically. At that only you will understand ultimate materiality. Again, if you want to discern ultimate mentality, then you must first try to discern the object of that materiality. Secondly, you should discern the base or the door of the materiality. For example, if you want to discern Indo mental process mentality, then you must discern first Indo in mental. Secondly, you should discern the color. A group of subatomic color. When color impinges both doors simultaneously, at the time, Indo mental process will arise one after another. In each mind moment, there are different types of mentalities, Chitta and Cettasika. In some mind movement, there are 11 types of mentality and materiality, and 11 types of mentality. In some mind movement, there are 34 types of mentality, etc. In this way, you can understand. Is there any teacher who can teach like that? Except our Theravada Buddhism. Within one mind movement, there are 34 mental patterns. They arise successfully for 7 times. Or like jhana mind movement, they arise successfully for many times. Who can teach like that? So if a meditator penetrates such type of mentality, then can we say his wisdom energy is very high and very powerful. So this is very high powerful wisdom energy. Again, there is again noble truth. Past causes produce present effect. Present causes will produce future effects. This is the understanding of the dependent origination. Many religions, they do not teach such type of dependent origination. They teach creator and created beings only. There is creator in Hinduism. Creator is Mahabrahma. In Christian, creator is God. In Islam, creator is Buddha or Allah. But in our Buddha's teaching, there is no creator. Only the karma and results only. Which type of karma? In one of past lives, you had already accumulated ignorance, craving, clinging, volitional formations, and karma potency. Because of these 5 causes, 5 aggregates in this very life appear. Again, because of the present 5 causes, in future 5 aggregates will appear again. Such type of understanding is understanding of the dependent origination forward order. If a meditator can see this dependent origination by his or her own direct knowledge, such type of wisdom faculty also very high powerful wisdom energy. No teacher can teach such type of deep profound Dhamma. Only our Buddha can teach such type of deep and profound Dhamma. So such type of wisdom faculty also became very powerful wisdom energy. Again, our Buddha also teaches. Because of the complete cessation of 5 causes, 5 aggregates will cease completely without remainder. When it will cease, one day if a meditator become Arhat. Because of the power of Arhat path, 5 causes, ignorance, craving, clinging, volitional formations and karma will cease completely without remainder. Because of the complete cessation of 5 causes, 5 aggregates, at the final stage, on the death of Arhat, will cease completely without remainder. Nowadays, there is no teacher who can teach such type of cessation except our Buddha. So if a meditator penetrates such type of complete cessation, which is the negative order of dependent origination, such type of wisdom faculty also very high and powerful wisdom energy. If you want to improve such type of wisdom energy, you must practice systematically according to Buddha's instruction, vipassana meditation. So this such type of vipassana insight also very strong and powerful wisdom energy. One day, if you practice vipassana systematically, you may realize Nibbana. This is the supramundane noble truth of the cessation of suffering, Lokuttara Nirodha Ariya Satya. There is no religious teacher who can teach this Nibbana except our Buddha. If a meditator penetrates such type of Nibbana, then such type of wisdom faculty which penetrates the Nibbana, is it very high and powerful wisdom energy? This is also very high and powerful wisdom energy. No one can teach such type of noble truth. Then to penetrate such type of noble truth, you should practice, you must practice Noble Eightfold Path. This is Buddha explains systematically in detail how to practice Noble Eightfold Path. You should not practice Noble Sevenfold Path. You should not practice Noble Fivefold Path, etc. You should also not practice 9 Noble Fold Path. You must practice only Noble Eightfold Path. This is exact meaning. Such type of exact instruction is mentioned in our Buddha's teaching. While practicing Vipassana, if you also realize such type of noble truth, the noble truth of the practice leading to the cessation of suffering, such type of wisdom faculty which penetrates the noble practice leading to the cessation of suffering is also very high and powerful wisdom energy. So if you want to improve your wisdom energy, first you must try to purify your body. Secondly, you must try to purify your mind. For purification of your mind, how you should practice? One type of samatha, excessive concentration, or 8 types of jhana. Based on this jhana concentration, you must practice Vipassana systematically. Then that Vipassana insight also actually very high and powerful wisdom energy. Then one day, you may realize Nibbana. At the time, 4-path knowledge and 4-fruition knowledge will arise, which realize Nibbana. These 4-path knowledge are called supramundane wisdom faculty. This is highest wisdom faculty in our Theravada Buddhism. If you want to accumulate such type of high powerful wisdom faculty, you must practice Noble Eightfold Path. In other words, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. But while practicing Samatha, you can purify your mind, because if you had already attained jhana concentration, that jhana will remove or will suppress 5 hindrances. At the time, your mind will purify. However, such type of purification is temporary only. Again, when practicing Vipassana, your Vipassana insight also suppress defilements moment by moment. Such type of purification of defilements is also called purification of mind, also temporary only. But one day, if you realize Nibbana, 4-path knowledge and 4-fruition knowledge will arise. This supramundane path knowledge will destroy defilements stage by stage. One day, if you become Arhat, then your mind will completely purify from defilements. Such type of purification of mind is Buddha praised as Visuddhi Brahmana. There are 2 types of Brahmana, Jadi Brahmana and Visuddhi Brahmana. But some people became Brahmana, but in this case, actual Brahmana is Visuddhi Brahmana. What is the meaning of Visuddhi Brahmana? That Brahmana, mind is completely purified from defilements. Any defilement will not visit to his mind. He had already destroyed all defilements which make the mind dirty. So such dirtiness will never visit to that Arhat's mind. Because of this reason, at that day, the mind of Arhat completely purified. So if you want to purify your mind, then you should practice Noble Eightfold Path. If we summarize Noble Eightfold Path, there are Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Right speech, Samma Vacha, right action, Samma Kamana, right livelihood, Samma Ajiva. These three are the training of morality. Samma Vayama, right effort, Samma Sati, right mindfulness, Samma Samadhi, right concentration. These three are the training of concentration. Samadhi, right view, Samma Sankappa, right attention, or right obligation. These two truths are the training of wisdom. So, if you want to purify your mind and to improve your wisdom energy, you must practice these three trainings: Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Okay. So, therefore, how to purify one's mind? This is also already explained.
Okay, now go to the next question. Can Sayadaw please explain the following on Anapanasati? 1. Why certain yogi could not or feel or difficult to feel experience or to experience the breath at the touching point, or place the mind at the nostril area or upper lip? In this case, is it okay for the yogi to focus a wider area first at the nostril area or upper lip, then gradually try to train the mind to focus on the breath at the touching point when the mind is more ready to experience the breath? Is there a way to train the mind to be at the nostril area or upper lip? Is it sufficient if one can know his in-breath and out-breath? If it is hard to focus the mind at the touching point, will this help in developing concentration later?
There are two reasons. One reason is the meditator has no strong and powerful mindfulness. His or her mindfulness is very weak. This is one reason. Naham bhikkhave Mudha Sadesa Asamba Janasa Anapana Sati Samadhi Vadami. Because I never teach to those people who have no enough mindfulness and who have no discerning knowledge to the breath object. So Sati and Sambhajana is very weak. This is one reason. If a meditator's mindfulness and discerning knowledge of breath is very, very weak, that meditator will not feel the breath. This is one reason. Another reason is the breath. What is the breath? If you pay attention for elements on your breath, you will see breath is nothing but a group of subatomic clusters. If you analyze those clusters, in each cluster there are 8 types of materiality. Among 8 types, there are 3 types of tangible objects: earth element, fire element, and wind element. These 3 are tangible objects. When these 3 impinge on the body door translucency, at that time you may feel breath. For some meditators, body door translucency is a little bit weak, like dead second, but actually not dead second, but a little bit similar to dead second. If you touch your that second, you cannot feel any painful feeling. In the same way, when the tangible object of the breath impinges on the body translucency, at the time when body translucency is very weak, then meditator cannot feel the breath thoroughly. This is another reason. So, what will be for me not to, what is the main fundamental cause for me not to feel the breath? You should investigate by yourself. Then, if mindfulness and discerning is very weak, then please increase mindfulness and discerning. But when the body translucency is very weak, it is impossible to make the body translucency increase by yourself. It depends on karma, because body translucency is one type of karma for materiality. If you discern four elements on your nostril or on your upper lip, you can see different types of kalabas. Especially there are also 6 types of kalabas: body decade kalaba, set decade kalaba, life nonate kalaba, mind born kalaba, temperature born kalaba, nutrient born kalaba. All together 6 types of kalabas. Among those 6 types, body translucency, body decade kalaba is the 10th materiality of body translucency is the 10th materiality of body decade kalaba. So when that body translucency is a little bit weak, at that time you may not feel clearly the impingement of your tangible objects of your breath. Because of this reason, for some meditators, it is not clear. When body translucency becomes very weak, maybe depends on karma. Karma cannot produce properly enough body translucency or body decade kalaba. There may be less quantity on that area. This is also another possibility. But at that time, how you should do? So here question. You should re-establish your concentration again. Especially if you had already attained 4th jhana, please re-establish this 4th jhana for about, maybe, if it is necessary, for about 1 hour, 2 hours, etc. When concentration is very, very deep and the light of wisdom is very, very bright, and then go back to practice 4 elements meditation. Then you may feel, and then you go back to, sorry, maybe step over again. You should increase your mindfulness. When your mindfulness is very strong, then you may feel partially. Also increase your discerning. How you should increase your discerning, please emphasize on that area only, with strong and powerful mindfulness. And then you may feel a little bit. But according to this question, for some meditators, the change sensation of the breath on the nostril or upper lip is not clear. And then they can also emphasize if they only know the breath. It is also enough. If you understand you are breathing, it is also enough. So on that breath object only you should focus. But when focusing on that breath object, you should not pay attention, your attention anywhere. You must pay attention between the nostril and upper lip area only. At that time, when your mindfulness improves, then you will see the breath. But if it is not okay, then you should change meditation subject. Maybe, for example, 4 elements meditation, etc. Then from 4 elements meditation to Desan 32 parts of body, then 4 Kalagasinas, and then other Kasinas. After bright days and 10 Kasina at that time, if you go back to Anapana, it is also very easy. You can easily feel deep breath because you have enough concentration at that time. So at that time, please re-establish your 4th jhana concentration. Imagine from 4th jhana concentration, you should practice Anapana again at that time. Then you may feel your breath very clearly and you may be able to concentrate on your breath object very, very quickly. Within 1 second, you can see Nimitta clearly and you can attain jhana. So in this way also, usually some meditators practice. So you can choose anyway.
If a Mahayana nun wishes to become a Theravada nun, is it necessary for her to relinquish her Mahayana nun's precepts?
We do not understand well about Mahayana Bhikkhuni's precepts. So according to their own desire, they can do. We don't want to criticize Mahayana ideas because we are brothers and sisters in our Buddha's dispensation. We should have enough compassion to each other. We should have enough understanding to each other. It depends on their own desire. If they want to relinquish, okay. If they don't want to relinquish, okay for me. Because if they undertake 10 precepts as a Theravada Sali, it is better. But if they touch money, this is not good. Whether they are Bhikkhuni or Theravada Sali. Because this is the money or gold and silver is the dirtiness of easy ascetics. So any ascetic in ancient times, they do not touch money. Our Bodhisattva in every path, like when becoming an ascetic or when becoming a bhikkhu, he never touched money. So touch money is the dirtiness for purification of virtue. According to Mandaka Sikkhapada, if money is alone level for a bhikkhu, then sensual enjoyment also alone level for a bhikkhu. If sensual enjoyment is alone level for a bhikkhu, then money also alone level for a bhikkhu. So Buddha condemns money like sensual enjoyment. If you are enjoying sensual pleasures while practicing samatha and vipassana, it is not easy for you to be successful. Because of this reason, Buddha never prays to touch money. If they do not touch money, if they undertake temporary precepts obediently, it is okay, no problem.
Then there's a question. After coming into contact with Pa'ao Sangha, I have learned meditation from several Pa'ao meditation teachers and learned the meditation. And I know that in the Pa'ao tradition, the Sangha member keep their precepts well. This is remarkable. And the teachers, the meditation teachers, give very systematic teaching and explanation. And my knowledge about the Buddha's teaching slowly improved. Now, I face a problem. When I face Sangha from other tradition, my mind arise, the thought of discriminating mind arise. I have conceit and pride towards them. I will think, is this teacher practicing the right way? Am I going to support this teaching? In those days, I have a very simple way of supporting, but now my mind changed towards them. Now I ask Sayadaw, how should I apply my wise attention to overcome my problem? When I face Sangha member, I wish to have a healthy attitude.
Don't pay attention to the bodily action, verbal action. Just emphasize only as a Sangha. It is good. In Dakina Vibhanga Sutta, Buddha says, when our Buddhism declines day by day, there will be only bhikkhus who take yellow cloth in their neck. They will take human clothes. They will do human work. They will enjoy sensual pleasures. They will marry. They will have many children. At that time also, if you think as a Sangha, if you offer any donation, such type of donation also matchless. Uncountable benefits you can gain. In this way, Buddha teaches in Dakina Vibhanga Sutta. So, if you cannot be a decent as a Sangha, if you have a lot of discrimination, this is problem. As a Putu Jana, ordinary bhikkhu, not noble one, there may be many problems. So we should not be a decent, this is Putu Jana, or this is Sotapanna, or this is Kadagami, or this is Anagami, or this is Arhat. As a Sangha, only you should pay attention. You should recognize as a Sangha only. What is the meaning of Sangha? Diti Sila Saminyena. All Sanghas have right view. Samadhi. All Sanghas have same Sila, purification of bhajna. Puddhajana Sila, Ariya Sila may be different, but all are same. Same means they must practice this Vinaya Sila. Sotapanna also must practice according to Vinaya Sila. Sakadagami, Anagami, Arhat also must practice according to Vinaya Sila. Sila is same. But practicing attitude only may be different. Deity, every noble one penetrates Four Noble Truths. So they have Samadhi, right view. What is Samadhi? In Mahasatiparana Sutta, Buddha teaches 4 types of Samadhi. Dukkha Jnana, Dukkha Samudaya Jnana, Dukkha Nirodha Jnana, Dukkha Nirodha Gaminiya Pratipādaya Jnana. 4 types. Right understanding of the noble truth of suffering. Right understanding of the noble truth of the origin of suffering. Right understanding of the noble truth of the cessation of suffering. Right understanding of the noble truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering. Every noble one has these 4 types of Samadhi, right view. In the same way, an ordinary bhikkhu, Puddhajana bhikkhu, if he had such a view, it is okay. So, wrong view and right view and right view and sila, they have said. Because of this reason, they are called, such group of members are called Sangha. If you can pay attention as a Sangha, your donation will result good result, will produce good result. But if you have discriminating mind, this mind will be very difficult. You cannot accumulate wholesome karmas in a proper way. You are emphasizing only their behavior. You should not emphasize their behavior. You should emphasize only the quality of Sangha only. So this is important. If you had a lot of discrimination between Theravada and Mahayana, or between Theravada bhikkhus to each other, or between Theravada Syalis to each other, then such type of discrimination will produce a lot of wholesome dhammas. Because of this reason, don't pay attention to such type of discrimination. In our commentary, there is one story, Mahathera. He always got his faculties through 6 doors, and he did not permit to come in to visit to his mind through 6 doors any defilement. Always got. He stayed in one cave. On the ceiling of that cave, there are 7 Buddhas' history mentioned how they renounced the world on the last life for the attainment of self-enlightened Buddhahood. He never sees such vessels. He stayed there for more than 30 years. He never paid attention like that. One day, many young bhikkhus visit to him to pay respect to him. At that time, one day, these pictures are very beautiful. They informed to him, I stay here for about 30 years. I never see these such beautiful pictures, whether they are very good or not very good. He never see. Only near the door of his cave, there is one naga tree. Whether this naga tree is blooming or full of leaves, he never tried to see his tree. When the leaves are falling on the ground, at that time he is trying to sweat. At that time only he understands, there is blooming. Flowers are blooming. Because flowers are falling down on the ground. At that time only he noticed, flowers are blooming. He never tried to see like that. One day, king and queen want to pay respect to that Mahathera. They invite Mahathera. He don't want to go to there. Because of this reason, they do another indirect way. In that village where he was going for alms round, no children, any mother must not give milk to their children as long as Mahathera did not visit to our village. In this way, the king gave the order to that village. At that time, because of compassion on children, Mahathera visited to village. When he visited to village, king offered something. At that time, Venerable says, Sukhi Hotu Maharaja. Queen also offered something to Mahathera. At that time also he says, Sukhi Hotu Maharaja. Everybody offered to him anything. In the same way he said, Sukhi Hotu Maharaja. Then some people ask, Bhante, they are not Maharaja king. They are queen, they are maybe ministers, etc. I don't know whether this is king or queen or minister. I don't know. I have no discriminating mind. I think only as a donor only, as a devotee only. Because of this, everybody offer anything, he say, Sukhi Hodu Maharaja only. Is it good? Very good. If you have discriminating mind, there are many problems. Why such and such people cannot guard his eye? Why such and such people cannot guard his eye? Her eye, etc. You may have a lot of discrimination. Such type of investigating mind is not good. You are accumulating unwholesome karma only. So please do not use discriminating mind. It is better. Nowadays, majority of bhikkhus are Puthujana, worldly beings, when they are called Puthujana. Puthu kilese janeti Puthujano. This is the meaning. They produce many defilements, so they are called Puthujana. This is the meaning. So every Puthujana produces many defilements. So if you discriminate, if you investigate a lot, then you are accumulating many unwholesome dhamma. Is it true? Yes, don't pay attention to anybody, whether they are good or bad, no problem. Your responsibility is you should guard your faculties through these faculties not to arise any defilement. This is your responsibility.
So that's the next question. Sayadaw say one must penetrate ultimate mentality and ultimate materiality and their causes in order to be a Sotapan. And based on the example of Anathapindika, when he was about to pass away, he listened to Venerable Sariputta's teaching. Surprisingly, he said he has never heard such a profound Dhamma. And yet at that time, Anathapindika was already Sotapan. And how come he had never practiced the Dhamma taught by Venerable Sariputta, and yet he became Sotapan?
He had already understood ultimate materiality, ultimate mentality. This is the noble truth of suffering. He had already understood the dependent origination. This is the noble truth of the origin of suffering. He had already understood the noble truth of cessation of suffering, Nirodha Siddha. This is the noble truth of cessation of suffering. He had already understood the practice leading to the cessation of suffering. This is the Magga Siddha. He had already penetrated the noble truth. It is true. But after one day he visited to Rajagaha. Because of Swandeva's help, he had opportunity to see Buddha in the Siddhavana forest. Siddhavana forest is close to a cemetery. He had opportunity to listen Dhamma from the Buddha. At that time he had already begun Sotapanna. The meaning is he had already penetrated the noble truth at that time. But he had the intention to do donation. His enjoyment is donation. Because of this reason, he invited to the Buddha and to come to Saudi. He already received from the Buddha's permission. So he tried to donate Jetavana Monastery. After donating Jetavana Monastery to the Buddha and Sangha, he took many responsibilities. He had a lot loving kindness and compassion to the Buddha. Buddha's body is very gentle, very subtle. We should not give many troubles to our Buddha. This is his attitude. Because if we give a lot of troubles, such as asking many questions, he will become tired. This is not suitable for us. This is his perception.